Good morning from a river, Lantang River, the upper half of the Mekong River. So here we are. Ahead of me is a village called Cizhong Church. Yesterday I was still in a very cool plateau in Shangri-La at about 3,300 meters above sea level. But today, in this very dry, hot, and quite windy river valley, it immediately makes me feel summer now. In the 19th century, French missionaries traveled along the Lantang River and reached this area, bringing Catholic beliefs to the Tibetan region. However, their efforts faced a strong opposition, resulting in the destruction of several Catholic churches along the river and the killing of missionaries. Over a century later, much of the prejudice and hostility has faded, and there are still worshippers here today. And Sunday remains a day of worship for villagers at Cizhong Catholic Church. Now I am on my way to the church. Normally in Tibetan region, the primary belief is always Tibetan Buddhism. But in this village, there is a Catholic church just in front of me. And some people living in this village also practice it. We're heading into this church. As I walk into this church, I can sense a fusion of different architectural styles on this main bell tower, like the very local style rooftop with some wooden structures and decorations on it. Also, there is some motifs on the walls of this whole building. Cizhong Church was initially built in 1878, but in 1905, a large-scale anti-Catholic movement occurred here. At that time, enraged locals burned down the church. Until 1907, after the movement had come to an end, Cizhong Church was rebuilt. Completed 10 years later, it became the Bishop's Cathedral in Yunnan and opened a school and nunnery in the church. The church's backyard is also filled with grapevines, brought by French missionaries of the era. The dry and hot valley climate here is very suitable for growing grapes. And inside this church, look at those columns. There are some decorated with some Buddhist murals and motifs like the lotus. This church overall features Western architectural style, while its decorations, such as those on the ceiling, incorporate styles from various ethnic groups, like the Han, Tibetan, and Bai people.
那上面不是有那个藏式那个灯吗？还是那个窗户？
对对，我看窗户像是藏族。
对，
好，谢谢你。
好看。
So this area is still mainly Tibetans, and this is Tibetan-style house, especially the windows. But there are also some Bai people's house style, like the murals and the characters on the white wall, and also the curved ridge. So this house is quite an example with the Tibetan-style window and decorations, but with the white wall and the murals characters on the wall, like the wooden house and the glass panels, and prayer flags on the rooftop from Tibetans. Also, the door seems like inspired from Bai people's building style, with the curved edge and gray tiles. Over a century ago, the first missionaries who arrived here were buried on the mountain 3 kilometers away from this village. And villagers told me I can find this place by going upstream along the Lancang River. And it's a rugged road, pretty hard to drive on. Good afternoon, everyone. Now I am on my way climb up this mountain to find those French missionaries' tombs. As the very first place, those French missionaries built the original church, the Catholic Church. Here it's about 3 kilometers away from Cizhong village, the church we saw earlier today. But about 1 century ago, because of some chaos, some of the French missionaries was killed and the original church also was destroyed. So they moved to Cizhong village and rebuilt a church there. First attempt failed. So now I'm looking for a household to ask for the specific location. 你介意吗？
不介意。
谢谢。我找了第一次失败了，我爬到快顶上了。
不是在这边，是在那边。
哦。
要不我送你下去？
你帮我指一下。
我可以送你下去。
可以，行，谢谢。
他应该是在那个山头，那个山头。
哦，我们完全走错了。So fortunately, we met a Tibetan friend. His name is Hani, a college student on summer holiday currently. I asked for his help while he was preparing dinner for his family, and he was kindly offered to give me a ride to the location. On our way, he shared with me that every morning, if he's available at home, he and his family perform rituals there.
今天很到吗？
从那个次中村那边过来的。你是信天主教吗？
对，我信天主教。
哦。
这边都是信天主多点，然后往上走一点就佛教多，往那儒教上面的就是佛教多。这边大部分都是天主教，然后有一家是佛教。
He was born into a Catholic family, and they have practiced the Catholic beliefs since his grandfather's time. And nearby, there are 5 Catholic churches nestled among these mountains. The one we are heading to commemorates the French missionaries who were killed here in 1905. 你每天早上都到这儿来？有空的话。
对，有空的时候来。
哦，就周围的村民都要到这里来，如果信这个的。
对，他们主要是这边就是怎么说比较开放吧，那边有些时候那个会关了门。 有点不方便嘛，真的是走的时候就很方便。
你先请。
这个神父好像说是在那边有一个隧道那边，然后说是以前嘛，他们讲过那种神话故事一样那种，说是被砍头了嘛，是不是？在那个我们经过那下面有个隧道呢，叫什么隧道忘记掉了，反正经过一条隧道的时候，那个你要念经，因为那个神父是在那被杀头的，说是被砍头的时候，他的血是乳白色的，然后就是当时就很神奇嘛，本来人的血液是红色的嘛，但是他的血流出是白色的，乳白色的那种，然后就感觉是那种天神降临啊那种，就是受到欺负了嘛，也是那种。
The stories about French missionaries had already become legends among the villagers. More than 100 years later, people still hold great respect for the priests. And the current priest whose hometown is Inner Mongolia, and he has been preaching here in Yunnan Province for over 20 years.
"我们每次下来，他下来做弥撒的时候，他就说怎么长那么高啊，一下子长那么高，好久没见了，德高望重嘛，肯定要有敬畏之心嘛。然后还是非常仰慕他那种，就是一直为了就是做弥撒，然后为了帮助这些教友那些，然后他就已经奉献了一生嘛，已经很久。他是从内蒙古那边过来的，好像是。
他过来有多久了
？20、30年左右。哎呦，这种的。
He was showing me their books, and he explained that due to regional differences, even within Tibetan areas, the scriptures can vary a lot in language. 平时这边会有一些国外的传教士也到这里来吗？
会有呢。之前，等一下，之前这个还没建的时候，还是以前旧破的时候，然后那些外国那些神父来，因为我们神父是做我们的弥撒嘛，然后外国那神父是做他们的弥撒。然后就一起双听嘛，就是，因为那个神父好像年老，好像70多岁吧，还是60多岁，有点年长了。
他从哪里来的？
从美国那边过来说。我们这边就是有点薄弱嘛，没那么强那种。那关于那个唱歌啊那些方面的比较弱点嘛。然后他们会因为那个经书有那么不叫什么圣歌有那么厚嘛，然后就是有些时候会教很多，然后就我们这边的也会唱了嘛。不至于就整个唱那个叫藏文班那种，就是叫什么来着？有个弥撒曲一样那种。
你知不知道为什么你爷爷那个时候选择信天主教，而不是藏传佛教？
有传教士嘛，每个人的信仰不同，相信的地方也不同，就像你人不可能都一样嘛，自己想信不难的。